Guys, what is up? What's going on out there today? Yes, it's Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of our January 2025 daily Fundy, as in fundamentals, and the underscored message that we're going with all month. This month is that mastering the fundamentals of the game is the advanced stuff. Fundamentals meaning swing tech. How do we eliminate all the stuff we really don't need swing tech wise, right? Because when you have too much layers of how to hit a forehand or how to hit a backhand or a serve volley, whatever, too many layers of technique just make it really tough to be consistent. Tactical. Are we actually going with some tactic fundamentals in terms of number one? Let's not give them what they want. Let's find out, let's probe and see what they don't, see what they do want. Just decide, all right, well, we're not going to give you that. And then find out what they're average at, maybe what they're weak at. And let's just work that shot choice over and over and over again. And then mentally, look, how are we gonna fundamentally between points. What are we going to do between points to really make sure that we stay emotionally on an even keel, create some clarity? How do we want to start this next point? And then fitness wise, what do we have to do to be able to fundamentally, be able to, if we need to win a match on that specific day, if we've got to hang out there for 3 hours? I just played a tournament in Florida, Naples, Florida last week. Man, I played this guy, really good player. And it was one of those things. Had to do it for 3 hours. And if you're not fit, it's really tough. It's really, really tough not to have um, fitness as a fundamental to be able to help you win some matches. As simple as that. So, guys, yeah, I got that message from Tom Stowe way back in the day, which is mastering the fundamentals, Mr. Abel. That's the advanced stuff. And when you do that, now you become an insanely consistent shot maker. Today's title is Shot Choice Clarity Forces Your Opponents into dot dot dot. We're to get into that in just a second. Before we do, look, if you've not yet checked out my course on 5 mini mindset skills, the training, it's a 28-day course. You get one email every day, and I take you through the sequence of how to build those skills so that you really, if you're playing tight, or if you're nervous, or if you're anxious during the end of sets, at the end of matches, whatever it is, this is going to help you bust through those nerves and feel like you can do what you want to do out there in terms of shot choice clarity and all that good stuff in terms of mental toughness. Look, all this is built off the court first. And so that's what that course is, or that's what this course is going to help you do. Right down below, there's a link that you can use to get started. Let's not get there yet. Let me get through today's episode first. And then if you've not yet done so, click on that link. Guys, shot choice clarity forces your opponents into. And what this means is kind of a two-part thing, is when you've got shot choice clarity, that means that you start to become a really consistent shot maker, right? You just don't make as many unforced errors. Of course, we're never going to be 100% perfect, but when you give that opponent over there the thought that, God dang it, you're just not going to miss, you're going to force them into possibly doing something that they don't want to do. And that is that they start to think, well, if he's never going to miss, then maybe I need to up the power. Maybe I need to up the spin. Maybe I need to really start threading the needle more in terms of their shot choice. And once they start feeling that, now you forced them into going for something that they're going to make some forced slash unforced errors. And I think one of the things that I've developed over the years is shot choice clarity, where I think guys just kind of feel like, God dang it, he's just not going to miss. And I know that I get a lot of free points by them thinking, got to go for it, got to go big, either got to go big on this second serve because I don't know what he's going to do with it. You get some double faults. Maybe you're just throwing in this underspin backhand all day long. And after three or four, you start challenging their shot tolerance. And the next thing you know is they start going for something bigger than what they're really comfortable with. They start to miss. And so, what I want you to start to start to really work on is this feeling, and it's a fundamental that you don't have to go for, a narrow opening to win points. You can, like we talked about earlier, you can take the sideline out of, I mean, if you want to go up the line, that's great. But just take the sideline out of it, meaning that if you've got someone way over in the other corner and now you want to go up the line, just play it right up the middle of that part of the court, right? If you've got someone sort of, you played a nice cross court forehand, they're struggling over there to recover over in the deuce side for a righty, and now you've got what you think is up the line open. Okay, just but you don't have to thread the needle to do that. You could stretch the guy out by playing it right in the middle between that center mark and the single sideline. Stretch them out, and yeah, is there a chance they're going to touch it? Probably. That's okay. Is there a chance when you stretch them out that their stroke technique's going to be compromised? It is. It is. And now you can start to look for a short ball that you can really do some offensive work with, right? But the key here is that I don't ever want you to feel that you have to end the point by hitting a winner into a narrow little opening, only because that guy over there you're starting to feel like, well, maybe the guy's not going to miss. So I want that to be your reputation. And I'm not talking about being a pusher. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about hitting high quality shots, whether it's topspin, whether it's underspin, whether it's a drop shot, whether it's playing it right up the middle and forcing that guy to have good footwork to get out of the way of your high quality shot, which lots of times produces a short ball, which lots of times makes them feel like, God dang it, I got to get out of the way. I got to do something big. And now you get an unforced error, right? Ball goes to the net, goes wide, goes deep, whatever. But you want to have that reputation as a player as the guy that just never freaking misses a ball, right? And when you do that, now you're going to force them into having to go for it. You're going to get some free points out of that. So where does a consistent shot maker start? What's the skill? Well, the first thing you got to be able to do is you've got to create spacing with your feet to get away from the path of that incoming ball, or create spacing with your feet so that you move over to it, so that you're always aligning yourself spatially away from that path of the ball at contact, right? Look, if you're inconsistent with your spacing, we've talked about this. This is one of the early fundamentals that we worked on early in January, is that spacing is one of the keys to being a consistent shot maker. What I've found over the years is that I used to think about it, seeing an incoming ball, and I'd have a shot choice. I'd have a target in mind. And yet, when I went to execute that shot to that target, I didn't have the right spacing, right? And now all of a sudden, you're either too far away from the ball, or most of the time, with me anyway, I was crowding the ball. And then I was still trying to force myself into that shot choice, even though I didn't have the right spacing for it. So what I've learned is that the first instinct's got to be, okay, here comes a ball to my forehand. Are we instantly lining up the spatial distance away from the path of that ball so that at contact, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be easy. Shot choice then, is so much more clear of what you're going to do. So start with that, right? To be that consistent, insanely consistent shot maker that forces them to have to go for something big. Spacing. Make sure that you're consistent with your spacing. So, guys, look, I want to hear from you today. What's on your mind? Any questions, comments, remarks, feedback? Let me know down below in the comments area. Love to read your stuff and always respond. And yeah, like we talked about at the beginning of today's episode, if you've not yet picked up this course, 5 mini mindset skills training course, normally $197. I've got it at more than a 50% discount for just 77 bucks for the rest of the month. And by the way, the rest of the month is coming up pretty soon. So if you've been on the fence on this, get down below, check it out, click it, pick it up. If you don't love it, just let me know, and I will go ahead and refund 100% um, of your purchase price. Guys, it's time. We got to get out there. We got to help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I will see you again next time.